Kraaijvanger. I'm the founder and CEO of The Hivery. And The Hivery is a membership and community dedicated to helping women create beautiful next chapters. And I just launched a podcast called The Art of What's Next, also around helping women create beautiful next chapters. I've worked with Jadah on and off for a number of years. And when I first started working with her, it was when I had a brick and mortar space and we were working on, all kinds of things around both growth of the business, but also managing some serious overwhelm that I was having within the business and as a leader, and our business was growing really quickly. And in some ways that was overwhelming to me. And so John and I did some work kind of early on in my business, just around prioritizing and finding my role as a leader and a CEO and helping me to hold the vision of what I really wanted versus kind of letting the business drive me. But then the work got really meaningful with Jadah a couple of years ago when I had to close my brick and mortar businesses due to the pandemic. I was really heartbroken and really low. My confidence was like shattered. And I was trying to figure out how to rebuild my business in a way that kept all of the hard work and heart and values and impact that I had built into the business as it was a brick and mortar space, and figuring out how to bring that to life digitally. And she was instrumental in so many ways, both in remodeling the business, like the nuts and bolts and the practical application of, how to price this new model, how to convey the value of this new model, how to build something in a way that wasn't going to burn me out again, because I was coming from a pretty low place just because of the challenge of the times. And then also how to rebuild my confidence and my inspiration for my work. So she was the business mentor and advisor that I really needed in terms of the practical, but also the mindset and the heart and keeping the business true to who I was and keeping me going and lifted up along the way. I think anytime that you are considering working with any coach, I mean, there is a level of trust and vulnerability and even like intimacy, because I think um as founders or entrepreneurs, we're not just our businesses, but we bring our whole selves to the table. So it's everything that's going on in our lives. And I think just knowing that you can find someone that you trust, getting to that place of establishing that trust can be scary. And that goes for any mentor that you are trusting with this, kind of important part of your life that is your business. So, of course, naturally, it took me some time to really lean into feeling the gravity of that trust. But Jada has this way too of being really patient in the process and allowing you to be where you are. So if there were places in the beginning where I really wanted to be like in brass tacks mode because I may not have felt comfortable yet, laying it all on the line of all the other emotional places that your business can bring you to, she met me there. And then, as we moved on and over the years became more and more, kind of the relationship deepens. So there ends up being a place where you can kind of really let your guard down and say, like, this is just who I am today. This may be who I am every day, and I'm trying to figure it out. And Jada was really wonderful about meeting me there. Since I started working with Jada, I've had a lot of wins actually, and what I love about working with Jada is that she reminds you of that. I'm big on celebrating victories, big and small. One major win I had was that I completely reconfigured my membership model after the pandemic. So what started out as a brick and mortar membership turned into a digital membership, and then has since evolved to include some hybrid in-person experiences. But I am so proud that my membership is thriving in this new way. And that was a big win, just to know that I could roll with the punches, really, and they were punches, and come out the other side with a community that is vibrant and thriving and growing. So reconfiguring my entire business model and the bread and butter of my business and turning it into something else was a major win. Another win is finally finishing my book proposal that I've been working on for a very long time. So finally finished that, and in the process now of looking for a literary agent. And then the third huge win is launching my new podcast, The Art of What's Next. So, like any project that you care about, it took me a lot longer than I had first thought. Someone told me once it takes as long as it takes, and it's true, but it took longer. Jadah was with me for the whole ride, and I launched it. So there's been a lot of celebration of both evolution and then celebrating some pieces of completion, like when you put a project out in the world and get to feel that sense of completion. I will say that there was a point in the work where I no longer felt so scared and hesitant and insecure. And what felt so good was I was so excited to finally be excited again. So I think when you have, when you've gone through challenges in your business and when you've gone through like kind of the low points, it feels like it's going to feel that way forever. And then to finally hit that breakthrough of like, wait, I'm excited again. I'm pumped again. I'm energized again. Like that was enormous for me. So that was a huge breakthrough of just feeling it again, feeling that flow, feeling that excitement. One thing that sets Jadah apart, and it's something that really resonated with me, is she will uses her practices, both her meditation practices, like her grounding practices. She unabashedly uses those practices intertwined with real business strategy. So we would have calls where we're working on, the evolution of a product or of a campaign, or like we're getting into the weeds, but we start from a place of groundedness and centeredness. And she asks thought provoking questions in the beginning of each session that just put you in a place of flow. So you're not coming into it, feeling like you have to like be like assertive or aggressive. Like you're coming into it feeling real and connected, and then also doing the real work. One thing I love about working with Jada is, and I don't know if I can name like the best part of working with her because there were so many things. But one thing I love about working with Jada is when we would go back and forth, even on Voxer, it just made me feel so supported in between the sessions. So I always felt like I had an opportunity to run things by her. And sometimes it was like, I just need to get this out of my brain, kind of off the cuff. I need to tell a trusted partner. And she was that trusted partner. So sometimes as founders, we're exploring new ideas, new products, new ventures, new, whatever that is. Um, and you're not going to do all of them, but you need to kind of say them in order to prioritize. And I felt like Jada just held a lot of space for me having a lot of ideas and let them, kind of percolate or do what they were going to do. Some shifted to the bottom, some moved to the top, and she was part of that with me. So I felt like I had a trusted partner that I could ideate with and then get strategic about what I was actually going to focus on. Two things that we worked on that were instrumental for me. One was planning. So we did a lot of planning work together, annual planning, quarterly planning, monthly planning, weekly planning, campaign planning. And we did it all, like side by side. We'd be in these sessions working in a Google Doc, and it grounded me and it made me feel like I had a plan, and I knew where to go and I knew what the direction was. So during times of overwhelm, going into planning mode with Jada was so helpful. So that was one piece that was instrumental for me. A second thing we worked on very closely is my book proposal. So there was at least 3 months of our coaching together that was focused almost entirely on my book proposal and sending it back and forth, helping me, figure out the voice and the components of the book proposal, but also when was I going to work on it? Where did I work best on it? How was I going to get it through? So there was working on that book proposal together. I felt like it's a huge undertaking. It took a lot of time, but again, having that trusted partner that would be by my side until I got the thing done was really important. I feel really clear about where my business is going. So, again, after the pandemic changed my business and basically turned it upside down from what was a brick and mortar in-person buzzing business where we were hugging and shoulder to shoulder, and COVID changed all of that. I didn't know where the business was going to go. So the biggest thing I feel is that to finally have that clarity of where we're going and how we're supporting women creating their next chapters and making sure that, finally I have the vehicles again, like the transportation again to really help people. And whether that's through the membership or through my upcoming book or through my new podcast, just knowing that I have again, like the vehicles in place to really be of service to the people that I want to serve. That's changed everything, and I needed that back again. I needed to know that I could make an impact in a tangible way for my community, and when things changed in my business and I didn't quite know how to do that initially, that was a struggle for me. So now I feel like I have that clarity. I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. I know who I'm helping. I know how I'm helping. It just feels like I've got that momentum back again, and it feels great. It is not easy to do this. And you do need trusted partners and you do need help along the way. And you also need people that are being honest and saying, yes, it's very hard sometimes. I think founders of I'll say like heart-centered businesses of which is I believe Jada's words, but I think founders of businesses that want to make a difference, businesses that are serving people, businesses that are creating something meaningful and want to make change. I think those founders that also need the support of how to grow, how to not get burnt out, how to create viability. I think, founders that really have a vision of wanting to be of service to people and wanna take it to the next level would be profoundly impacted by Jada's work. Work with Jada, totally, just do it, just do it. Jada is an honest, brilliant, loving, strategic partner, and I wouldn't hesitate to work with Jada again.